Reeves got to get it in three-point country. It's to Ryan, on its way. He's got it! Matt Ryan!
And to know that this guy was hurting, that he was coming out and doing whatever it took.
It felt like a train in the middle of old Boston. That's how loud it was.
Question: what is the rarest thing you've ever heard of or witnessed on an NBA court? Maybe it was watching Kobe drain free throws just moments after tearing his Achilles.
He's going to stay down there for a bit.
Maybe it was watching a rookie Magic Johnson fill in for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and drop over 40 points in the NBA Finals.
Down the middle, Dawkins went to him and scored and sent him to the line.
Or maybe it was watching the greatest of all time put the entire team on his back in the NBA Finals despite nearly passing out.
Just running back down the court on defense, he looked like he was going to fall down. He just did not look good at all.
Well, in the 1992 Eastern Conference semifinals, a lot was at stake. After a back-and-forth first four games, Michael Jordan's 37 points in Game 5 swung the tide.
With a left hand, Michael Jordan!
But facing elimination at Madison Square Garden, Patrick Ewing wasn't going to give Chicago a free run.
I can remember Patrick saying, "We're going to do it. I'm going to do whatever it takes for us to do it." And I knew that every time he ever said that, he didn't let anybody down.
When the game started, Ewing was unstoppable.
Pippen with the spin, rejected by Ewing. Ewing, yes. The Knicks 49.
Gets it up. Ewing.
Oh, what a play!
And the Knicks rallied to an 8-point lead at halftime. But late in the third, the Knicks were dealt a major blow.
Now Ewing is hurt. Ewing is down. And Pippen has tied the game at 61.
The Knicks' main man was in serious pain, and it looked like his night was over. So too any hopes the Knicks had of keeping the series alive. Yet Ewing refused to sit.
I remember him walking from the bench to the score clock, and I'm turning around looking at him coming back in. As soon as he started walking on the court, I started screaming at him and telling him that they can't stop you. They can't stop you.
And again, one-on-one coverage. And Patrick Ewing has had his way here. Three from the field. 15 of 17 from the line. Good setup. Knicks by 3. Here's Ewing. Yes. 10 points for Ewing.
And to know that this guy was hurting, that he was coming out and doing whatever it took to win, it only sparked us. It only lit a fire inside of us.
But if that series was anything worth mentioning, then what about what happened almost 2 decades later at the same stage but with different rivalries? The 2011 Eastern Conference semifinals. In that series, the Boston Celtics trailed the Miami Heat's new Big Three 2-0 after the first 2 games in Miami. Game 3 in Boston was a must-win if Boston wanted a shot at the finals. But disaster struck in the third quarter when Rajon Rondo tangled with Dwayne Wade on a loose ball.
Trying to box him out. Rondo's shaking out of him.
Rondo writhed in pain and was helped to the locker room as everyone assumed he was done and out for good that night.
He's come out of the locker room, going back to the Celtic bench. Deflected by Green. Rondo with the steal. That time he used his left hand. It throws it down.
Playing essentially one-armed, Rondo sparked a 97-81 win, which was the Celtics' only win in the series. He finished with 11 assists for the night, and all he could think about was gearing up for the next game a couple of days later.
Now, what is it feeling like right now?
It's still broken.
Broken?
I mean, it's a painful feeling, but I'll be fine. It's no big deal. It's not an excuse. I'll be ready to play in 2 days.
It's a dislocated elbow.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts, but, you know, it's my adrenaline is going right now, so I was able to come back and try to give my team a lift.
It's one of those heroic moments that slip under the radar. But one moment that didn't slip under the radar was when Kevin McHale played on a broken foot. Late in the regular season, he fractured the navicular bone in his right foot, which was a serious injury often requiring surgery and months off. Doctors warned of long-term damage, but McHale refused to quit.
Anybody who's ever stubbed a toe walking around the house barefooted can appreciate foot pain and understand how agonizing a foot injury can be. The fact that Kevin's been able to play with a fracture, that it's been remarkable.
In the championship against the Lakers, despite visible pain, only Bird and Dennis Johnson played more minutes than McHale, as they pushed the prime Lakers team to 6 games before losing out. While McHale's tenacity was commendable, one legend who made an almost impossible return was Alonzo Mourning. On March 1st, 2005, Zoe made a comeback to the Miami Heat where he spent 7 seasons, but it wasn't just any comeback. His career nearly ended in 2000 when Mourning received news that he had a severe kidney disease. It forced him to retire in 2003 when he was with the New Jersey Nets.
And the doctor told me that I had a rare kidney disorder, and I'm saying to myself immediately, what pill do I need to take? Because that's how you're wired as an athlete. It's like, okay, wrap it up, throw some ice on it, take a pill, let's get back out. The doc told me, like, hey, this isn't one of those injuries. He said, you're gonna have to step away from basketball and deal with this. First, I asked him, was I gonna be able to play ball again? And he's like, I don't know, it's up to you. And then I asked him, I said, is there a cure for this? And he said, no, there's no cure. You're gonna need a transplant. And then the last question I asked him, am I gonna die?
He received a transplant from his cousin that December, then defied odds by returning to the NBA in 2005 with the Heat. In the clinching Game 6, the then 36-year-old played just 14 minutes, but transformed the game with 8 points, 6 rebounds, and a team-high 5
Behind
blocks.
the back, Zoe. Oh, and a monster here, blocked by Mourning. Back door, blocked by Mourning. Great block. Terry, blocked by Mourning.
Zoe leading the charge with the block.
I have 5 blocks for Alonzo Mourning.
Zoe overcame life-threatening illness to deliver a championship defense, even though his energy in that clincher is often under-spotlighted amid Dwayne Wade's heroics.
When you can overcome the difficulties and then you can come back to this moment and experience it again, it's extremely rewarding.
On the flip side, Paul Pierce had one for the memories. Game 1 of the 2008 Finals saw the revived Boston Celtics host Kobe Bryant's Lakers. Early in the third quarter, Paul Pierce twisted his knee awkwardly, collapsing in agony and clutching it.
16. On the floor for the Lakers is Paul Pierce.
That's when this iconic moment took place.
Certainly not the sight the Celtics and their fans want to see. Paul Pierce in a lot of pain, had to be carried off. Then they put him in the wheelchair as he's going back to the locker room.
But nothing was going to stand in the way of Pierce and his first NBA championship. Minutes later, he jogged back with his knee braced.
This is the sight that the Celtic fans want to see. And hear the ovation as he comes hopping out of the tunnel. Pierce ready to check back into the game as we check in with Michelle.
He was followed out of the hallway by Danny Ainge, the general manager. Ainge told me that it is a sprained knee. You can see that sleeve on Pierce's right knee. He's going to give it a try, guys.
Rondo to Pierce. Pierce for 3. Bang! Back up by 1. Rondo back to Pierce. Another 3. Puts it in. Back-to-back 3-pointers from Paul Pierce.
Despite that injury scare, no other Boston player logged more minutes than Pierce, and he averaged over 21 points in the series.
Pierce wearing that brace on the right knee. Pierce counted and a foul. Pierce to the basket. Lots of contact. Counted and a foul. What a move from Pierce.
Earning Finals MVP as Boston won Banner 17.
The MVP of the 2008 NBA Finals is Paul Pierce.
That Game 1 heroics may just have saved Boston in the series.
When I came down, I heard my knee pop, and I just thought I tore it or something. It was hurting really bad on the ground. I know I sprained it, it's sore right now, but when I got in the back, I could put weight on it, and I could change direction. So I said, hey, I'm gonna get out there. I need to be out here. It's the finals, and I need to be here for my team.
Going back over 4 decades to another Lakers-Celtics final showdown, Bill Russell displayed one of the most heroic NBA Finals performances. Having shared 3 games apiece, Game 7 of the 1969 NBA Finals had everything. Boston jumped out early, forcing the Lakers into rush shots, and the Celtics led 59-56 at halftime, which turned into a 15-point lead at the end of the third quarter. Boston closed it out at 108-106, and just as Russell had proclaimed, the balloons never fell. He was 34 years old and played the joint most minutes of the Celtics team and had just won his 11th championship leading his team. And an emotional Russell couldn't hide his feelings.
I know it's hard to say what's in your mind right now, Bill, and it must have been a great win.
Boy, this is such a great bunch of guys, you know, and it's just been so fabulous the way they played for me. And it sounds all corny, you know, to start talking like that, but I told these guys before the game, I don't care what happens, I wouldn't trade you guys for any guys in the world.
It was truly a special display. Well, Kevin Durant was on his way to putting up one of his own special displays, had everything not come crashing down right before his eyes within a blink. Trailing 3-1 to Toronto in the 2019 Finals, the Warriors desperately needed Durant.
Here's his first shot, and looks pretty good there. Durant tries another three. 2 for 2 is Kevin Durant.
Then it suddenly became his last moment in a Warriors jersey.
Durant goes down holding his leg. Ibaka goes up and is fouled down the other end. And Durant grabbing that right leg. It's the right calf that put him out.
Motivated by KD's first quarter, Golden State won that game, but with Durant and later Klay Thompson injured, the Dubs lost the series. That was essentially the end of the famous KD-Steph Warriors dynasty. KD risked everything for his team in a do-or-die spot. Just one game after KD's heartbreak, the Warriors faced the Raptors again in Game 6 at Oracle Arena, desperate to force a Game 7. So desperate, in fact, that Klay Thompson was on fire, pouring in 30 points through 3 quarters.
Puts it in. Klay Thompson on fire here. Thompson off the dribble to the rack. Layup is good. Thompson long three. It's good.
Late in the third quarter, on a fast break dunk attempt, he was fouled by Danny Green and landed awkwardly, tearing his left ACL.
And a foul. And Thompson grabs his left knee. Now writhing in pain. Steph Curry slamming the ball on the court, so upset. And everybody for the Warriors in the franchise and here in the stands holding their breath. Klay Thompson was headed back to the locker room, but then turned around and limped back out on the floor. But if you're hurt on a play and it's not a flagrant foul and you can't shoot the free throws, you cannot return to the game. And I think they got the message to Klay Thompson as he was walking back to the locker room. Hey, if you want to come back in this game, you need to shoot these free throws.
To go back and play zone.
Right now. He's staying in the game. And there's the foul. Cousins fouls Siakam. Thompson did not want to come out.
Klay obviously wanted to stay and continue, and he would have if Steve Kerr had let him. He played just 3 quarters, but recorded the most points of the night, even though Golden State wasn't able to force a Game 7. Speaking of star players being hurt in the finals, the Los Angeles Lakers faced a similar crisis in the 1980 NBA Finals. That showdown pitted the Lakers against the Philadelphia 76ers. Lakers star man Kareem Abdul-Jabbar dominated early as he led in points and rebounds in 4 out of the first 5 games. But a severe ankle sprain sidelined him for the decisive Game 6 in Philly.
I thought he was going to left. Kareem's hurt. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is hurt. He pulled something coming around.
Without Kareem, then we're just simply scrambling and trying to make do.
The Lakers needed a miracle, and the man to give them that was a 20-year-old rookie, Magic Johnson.
Young man by the name of Magic Johnson is going to start at center.
When Magic jumped in the center with Caldwell Jones, I actually almost started laughing.
Magic started at center, a 6'9" point guard against taller foes, and played all 5 positions.
To the left hand, Magic Johnson.
And he knows it.
Magic will come down the baseline, and Dawkins tied him up, score it, and send Magic to the line. I thought it was going to be easy, too. Oh, the rolling hook shot by the young center.
He scored 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals, leading a 123-107 rout to clinch the title and Finals MVP.
Biggest game? That's all right. That was still today my greatest game probably.
Just over a decade after that famous performance from Magic Johnson, Larry Bird showed why he was the baddest white guy to ever lace up a pair in the NBA. The 1991 first-round series between the aging Celtics and young Pacers was tied 2-2, heading into a winner-take-all Game 5 at Boston Garden. Larry Bird, already battling chronic back issues, dove for a loose ball in the second quarter, smashing his head on the hardwood.
Bird had it knocked away by Saddles. Powers on the recovery. Bird is hurt. Bird is down, and he's hurt. And Larry Bird is headed directly to the locker room.
Start to third, no Larry. Couple minutes go by, no Larry. We're looking at one another like, okay, we got a chance.
We're going to do this. We're going to beat the Celtics in the Garden. No one ever beat the Celtics in the Garden.
But Bird wasn't ready to let his team go down, no matter what.
Well, if it's a game I'm thinking about, I had a concussion at halftime. Well, the doctor says you had enough. You can't go back out there. Enough's enough, Larry. Come on back and this. And I looked up there and the crowd was, oh, you could hear it in there, you know. It wasn't going good. I said, what's the score out there? He said, we're down. I went to the doc. I said, I got to try this. He said, well, if you get dizzy and all this, come back in. And I go out there, and of course the crowd gets pumped up.
In Game 5 of the championship series involving the Knicks and the Lakers, it's 69-70. And Uncle William is quoted by Robert Powell.
Felt like a train in the middle of old Boston. That's how loud it was. The crowd was so loud. And I remember looking at Chuck.
And we said to ourselves, you're in trouble. Oh.
Has a chance to yell a little bit. They come right back at you.
He returned in the third, igniting a 33-14 run. He finished with 32 points, leading a dramatic comeback win. Diving deeper now, Kobe Bryant also defied the odds when he came down with a nasty injury. In a must-win regular season game against the Warriors on April 12, 2013, the Lakers were fighting for a playoff spot. But when Kobe drove to the basket late in the fourth, the world felt his Achilles rupture.
Again, he's struggling. He's going to stay down there for a bit.
It was season over, and he knew it. But Kobe, with his Mamba mentality, refused to be carried off, and he came back and shot 2 free throws.
Bryant tonight with 32 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and he is hurting. But the Lakers down by 2, and they want him and need him at the free throw line. Got it before a foul, maybe. Made him. Lakers might foul. They might foul to get him out of the game. That's
they
what
have to.
Do. Yeah.
Then he says to me, so I reach back there and try to pull it back down. A bunch of athletes, since the beginning of my career, rupture Achilles. No one's ever said that to me. And I don't even know what he was thinking, because it's not like it rolls up your leg. Right. Okay, it's still there. Right. He goes, yeah, I know. He goes, I've been trying to walk on my heel to see if I could run on my heel and see if I could play that way. I said, it don't work that way. He goes, well, can we go in the back and maybe you could tape it up? I could finish the game. I said, it doesn't work that way either. I said, but here's what I'll let you do. So you got fouled. So there's 2 free throws coming. If you don't shoot them, then Mark Jackson is going to pick somebody on our bench, worst free throw shooter, to come out and shoot his free throws. And we're trying to make the playoffs. So we're still trying to win the game. Right. I said, I'll let you, shoot the free throws. He's going to tear the other one standing there. I mean, he's already torn it. So I'm going to tell Mark Jackson, I'm going to tell the official, after the second free throw, make or miss, we're going to foul, and then we'll get you out of the game.
Kobe, are you convinced that they told us probable torn Achilles? They're going to do an MRI. Are you pretty convinced that's what it is?
Yeah. Not much really to take you through, man. I made a move that I make a million times, and it's popped.
You've had a pretty unbelievable career. Is this the biggest disappointment of it, considering everything that was involved?
Yeah, by far. We work so hard, to put ourselves in a position where, we control our own fate. And I certainly have done a lot of work, to prepare myself. It's just shit luck.
That injury marked the beginning of his career's twilight. One player who refused to back down with a hurt leg was Isaiah Thomas. In Game 6 of the finals, Isaiah was scorching until the third quarter when he severely sprained his right ankle stepping on Michael Cooper's foot.
Isaiah Thomas is hurt down on the court underneath the basket. I couldn't tell what happened.
And this is a tough one.
25-point fourth quarter.
Game 6, we were closing them out. Because I know, like, if there's a Game 7, we're not winning a Game 7 in LA. So I felt like I can pretty much get any shot we want. And so I'm going for it.
3.5 remaining in this period. Thomas with a looper score. Thomas off balance. Basket counts and Thomas goes for 3 and hits it. What a third quarter.
Now watch this basket by Isaiah Thomas, but the thing, watch him.
Swollen massively, Thomas returned and erupted for 25 points in the quarter alone, which is an NBA Finals record.
And when he says, you know, he had a concussion and he had to get back up, well, that's the same way I felt like with my ankle. It's like, okay, we got to win this game, and this is our shot.
I don't believe what I'm seeing. A great performance, maybe one of the best we've ever seen in one quarter in NBA Finals history.
I mean, you could barely walk in that game.
He finished with 43 points, nearly stealing the win in a 103-102 loss. Next up, MJ took over after the 80s era, and he had many heroic moments, but one stood out because of the circumstances. In Game 5 of the 1997 Finals, tied 2-2 against the Utah Jazz, Jordan was struck ill overnight in Utah. Trainer Tim Grover found him curled up in the fetal position, dehydrated, and vomiting after.
Hey man, come to MJ's room, and he's literally curled up in the fetal position. Just like, I'm like, oh man, what happened? So we went and got the team physician at that time, and just nobody could figure out what was going on. I was like, and he had only eaten like a couple of slices. So I've not known any flu that can hit you that fast, but I know how quickly food poisoning can hit you.
Before, we were all in Michael's room when the pizza came. I luckily didn't have any of the pizza. And the next morning, I remember speaking to him saying he was really sick, like really, really sick.
He had suffered from food poisoning, but he wasn't going to sit out a finals game.
You know, his mental toughness and his mindset was just like, hey, just get me well enough so I can get to the floor. I said, Michael, the worst thing you can do is go in and out. Once you're in the game, you got to stay. You got to play as long as you freaking can, because once you sit down, that's it.
Get set for Game 5 between the Chicago Bulls and the Utah Jazz.
At 3:30 this morning, Michael Jordan woke up with flu-like symptoms. He had a stomach ache and a headache, and he couldn't go back to sleep. He threw up all night, and as reported earlier, he missed the shoot-around, but he was in bed all day and continued to throw up. As a matter of fact, he got in here early. When I went to talk to him back in the back room, he was in a dark room trying to get some rest, but still throwing up. And Marv, I talked to him, I said, how do you feel? He said, I really feel horrible. But his history in games where he's either been hurt or sick has been bad news for the opponent.
Jordan played anyway, staggering at times, scoring 38 points for a 90-88 victory. He collapsed into Scottie Pippen's arms at the end.
In the fourth quarter. That's hard to believe that you can lose track of time and score.
MJ almost played himself into passing out, but he willed his body to victory, adding to his legend.
Me as a person and me as a basketball player later in my years is that inside my head I had to start creating challenges for myself because I accomplished everything that people, said I couldn't do.
Finally, we have arguably the gold standard of NBA heroism. In Game 7 of the 1970 Finals, the Knicks versus the Lakers at Madison Square Garden, Willis Reed, the captain and MVP, had torn a thigh muscle in Game 5, missing Game 6. Doubt swirled that he was surely going to be out for the deciding Game 7. But he came back. Reed limped out to a thunderous roar during warm-ups.
And I think we see Willis coming out. There he comes right now. 6'10" from Grambling. The captain of the Knicks, the most valuable player of the NBA.
All of a sudden, this guy comes out, not limping, I'm talking about dragging his leg. I've never heard that kind of roar and uplift in the Garden, ever.
The Knicks welcome him. Willis hits a couple of shots, a couple of jumpers, and now the place goes crazy. They're actually cheering warm-up baskets.
Gets a standing ovation. at the new Madison Square Garden. This is the 38th sellout crowd, and they have been reacting to their Knickerbockers the same way all season long.
Everything's all right. The captain is here. And I'm saying, boy, this is a hell of a predicament to be in. Here I am, a guy on one leg, gonna play the greatest scorer ever, big man. The guy, only guy ever scored 100 points in a game. And I'm gonna try to do it on one leg.
He scored the Knicks' first 2 buckets, inspiring a dominant 113-99 win and the franchise's first title. Walt Frazier exploded for 36 points and 19 assists, saying Reed's presence alone shifted everything. Yes, witnessing game winners and buzzer beaters is next-level energy.
They're good. The game's over, and the Bulls have won.
Yes, seeing your favorite team or player winning it all is ultimately satisfying.
Cleveland! This is for you!
But these 14 moments are exactly why we all live for sports. Because, well, the odds of these moments happening were 1 in a trillion.